Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the President of the Republic came back to Djibouti for international scene, signing of an agreement between military and leaders of the Sudan. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, returned this Wednesday afternoon after attending the African Union Summit in Niamey, Niger, and a private stay of a few days in Paris. The summit of the African Union, in which the head of state took part, focused on the interim forces of the African Continental Free Trade Area as a sign of our country's full membership in the Continental Free Trade Area. The Republic of Djibouti is one of the African states that has ratified the CFTA immediately. The Minister of Interior, His Excellency Mumin Ahmed Sheikh, and the Minister of Health, His Excellency Mohamed Warsama Diri, have received this morning in the locality of Tamerjok a mobile clinic. The mobile clinic is a gift from the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, which was offered to the residents of Tamerjok localities in the Altas region. After a visit to the well-equipped medical vehicle, both in terms of equipped and efficient health personnel, the Minister of Interior, Mumin Ahmed Sheikh, paid tribute to the United Nations agency, which works on a daily basis to improve living conditions of our fellow citizens everywhere they are present. For its part, the sub-prefect of Tamerjok also paid a tribute to the UNDP, and this will be well maintained by the inhabitants of Tamerjok, he said, and conserves all inhabitants. For his part, the Minister of Health, His Excellency Mohamed Warsama Diriye, paid a heartfelt tribute to the United Nations agency for this considerable help, which could all have allowed to save lives, and he also told the inhabitants of Tamerjok to take good care of these public goods. As part of his outreach towards the Minister of Equipment Transport, His Excellency Musa Ahmed Mohamed visited this morning in the offices of investigations and analysis. On his arrival, the minister was greeted by the Secretary General Mr. Said Nuh and the Inspector General of PAA Hussein Abdi Rage. The ministers had brief meetings with the Inspector General and the officials of the Ministry of Transport. Then detailed explanations on the roles and functions they held the various inspectors of the BAA. The BAA is an agency that was recently put in place by the presidential decree in 2016 that is in line with international standards, and that plays the role of investigation aviation accident and incident. The BEA is responsible for preventing aviation safety and air safety. The Minister of Equipment Transport, Musa Mohamed Ahmed, welcomed the new agencies and the heavy tasks that are taking care of civil aviation personnel and equipment. Also note the presence of several collaborators and technical advisors to the Minister of Transport and Mr. Musa Ali Dini, who is inspectors of the BEA. As part of the popularization of the Social and Solidarity Economies Act, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity organized a workshop on Wednesday, 17th July at the People's Palace for a better implementation of the popularization of this law. This workshop was an opportunity for the ministry to establish the development policy in the style of social and solidarity economy. It is a policy that will make available to our community means and ways of working together and create solidarity around the common issue. It is a potential sector that has proven itself in other African countries. Djibouti is not left out. This is why the popularization of these laws at the level of the various ministerial, associative and partners actors in the first steps in the process. The events of the participations of civil society, financial, technical partners, representative of the ministries in charge of social issue. The Minister of Social Affairs, Solidarity, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, explained that it became clear that the objectives of the entities of the social and solidarity economies is to undertake otherwise by putting the man at the head of the adapted project to these needs and its environment, thus generating forms of culture of living together and a national belonging. The minister continues her speech recalling that this law is initiated by the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, the same day as the laws on the promulgations of the National Strategy of Protection shows the strong link between social protection and the empowerment of vulnerable households for a sustainable exit from poverty. Like all the region, the region of Obok has honored 2019 graduating ceremony through a solemn and grand ceremony, a ceremony under the high patronage of the Secretary of State to the Youth, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, in the presence of the local authorities, including the acting prefect Ali Maki and the president of the Regional Council, Muhammad Hamad Ismail, the parliamentarian of the regions, Mr. Ali Hamad Hassan, and senior Djiboutian leaders from the Obok region. MENFOP delegation led by the technical advisor Mohammed Sanalase took part in the presence, which saw the presence of the parent and bachelor graduate. Then comes the time of the speech and of the ministers, deputies and officials of the region. All of them pay tribute to the effort made through the school years by the high school students who are happy winners of this year's baccalaureate, not to mention the constant morals and material support of their teachers, the decisive commitment of their teacher and administrative head office of the Obok High School. The graduation ceremony of the baccalaureate was attended by numerous officials, including local authorities, including Mr. Ali Maki, the deputy prefect and acting prefect, and the president of the regional council, Muhammad Hamad Ismail, who congratulate the graduate of Obok region. Strong delegations of MENFOP led by the technical advisor to the minister, Ms. Mohammed Sanalase, participate in the graduation ceremony of the baccalaureate. In his speech, he congratulated the young graduate who achieved an exemplary courses and wished a good continuation for the continuation of their studies. Finally, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, spoke on behalf of the government in turn and congratulate Obok's young graduate, parents and teachers for their support to the lucky winners of the 2019 baccalaureate. Today, under the patronage of the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, was held a major forum under the theme The Hallmark of Quality, organized by COMESA Business Councils in partnership to private sectors and COMESA Secretariat. This high-level business summit included a state-private sectors dialogue in which heads of the state and heads of delegations from COMESA member countries discussed business leaders key policies to enhance the competitiveness of COMESA countries' industries before formulating strategy to strengthen local supplies and inter-regional trade. The delegation of the Republic of Djibouti is led by His Excellency Hassan Hamad Arbahim, Minister of Commerce, and including the Ambassador of Djibouti in Kenya, and permanent representative to the COMESA, Mr. Yassin Elmi Bouh, the Minister of Economy, Mumin Ismail, Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Warsama. The participants discussed competitiveness, manufacturing, digital and trade, facilitating financial service and regional payment service standards. The Chamber of Commerce, in collaboration with the Agency of Control Energy, ADME, organized round tables yesterday on optimizations of energy, and this is in the context of optimizing energy consumption. To do this, the Chamber of Commerce of 2013 created in the paradigm promotions of renewable energies in Djibouti, which is fully engaged by the German cooperation to inform and advise all economic operators and individuals in this file, knowing that in terms of renewable energy, Djibouti holds a huge potential that is not used at its fair values, including investing in the file of geothermal energy. The International School of Advanced Judicial Policies Practice hosted this morning's closing ceremony of the courses of Director of Investigator for a period of 4 weeks for the benefit of the 9 Djiboutian policemen. Several Djiboutians and foreign personalities took part, including the Army Corps General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Chief of the General Staff of the Army Forces, his advisor Brigadier General Ali Hassan, General Tahiru, Chief of the Defense Staff, Colonel Mohammed Jama Duale, Commanders of the Republican Guard, Colonel Mohammed Jama, Commanders of the Prison Guard, Ms. Leila Mohammed Ali, General Prosecutors, Ms. Ni'ma Ali Warsama, President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Appeal, and senior officers of the Forces France of the International Security, attaché of the representative of the international organization, prosecutor, and several officers of the National Gendarmerie. For his part, Captain Bruno Bach, is acting Attorney General, also spoke about the considerable contributions in the file of training in the judiciary. They congratulate the graduate for their success while encouraging them to work closely with the magistrate and to maintain privileged relations with them in the course of their investigations. The school commanders, squadron leaders Hussein Mohammed Qayad and his directors of studies took turns speaking on this occasion to take stocks on the 4 weeks during which the trainees were put to the tests and during which they were able to enrich their knowledge in the field of management of survey with a level of complexity requiring the implementation of a work team. The Embassy of the Arab Republic of Egypt celebrated last night at Campeski Palace the 57th anniversary of the revolutions of July 23, 1952. Several Egyptian dignitaries attended this commemorative ceremony, including the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Culture and Waqf Property, Mumin Hassan Barre, who represent the government of Djibouti on this occasion, and a number of ministers, as well as the President of the National Assembly, Mohamed Ali Ahmed, head of diplomatic missions accredited to our countries, and representative of international and regional organizations participate in the event, as well as major senior civilian and military officials. The guests were greeted by the ambassador of Egypt to Djibouti, Ahmed Adel Al-Subhi, surrounded by his close collaborator. It should be noted that the Egyptian peoples are an integral part of the Arab nation. The association of Egypt with Arabism is the link between history, culture, language, and common interest between the past, the present, the futures, and the destiny. In a speech delivered on this occasion, the ambassador of Egypt, Ahmed Adel Al-Subhi, indicated the relations between our two countries go back to several thousands of years. They were welded by the unit of their destiny because we share the same objectives and ambitions, as well as the same challenges, he said. For his part, the Minister of Islamic Affairs and Culture, Momin Hassan Barre, expressed his satisfaction to attend this ceremony and the participation of the Egyptian brothers in the revivals of the national holiday. He also referred to the distinguished historical relation between the two brother countries, Egypt and Djibouti, and the public and official levels. The Ministers of Islamic Affairs and Culture held the progress of bilateral cooperation between Djibouti and Cairo in various files. After having accomplished a feat in France as part of the Games of 5 sessions of the World Games in Paris, the U14 national teams returned to the countries last night. For warm welcomes was reserved by the Federation in the VIP lounge of the Djibouti International Airport. The Djibouti Sharks were welcomed by the leaders of the Djiboutian Federation of Football, players of the senior national teams, and many Djiboutians whose parents of the player, Sharks from Djibouti, were welcomed by the Federation Secretary General Yusuf Ahmed and Sport Directors of the State Secretariat for Youth and Sport, Mr. Abshir Ali. Recall that the U14 national team has, during these competitions, won 3 successive games by several scores, namely 6-0 and 9-0, and finally 5-1 in the third match. We regret to announce the death of yesterday afternoon at 3 p.m. at Balfour Hospital, Mr. Kahin Mohammed Ahmed, pronounced under the nickname Chawala. The 70 years old was very well known and appreciated by the Djiboutians. He leaves behind him a widow and 9 children and grandfathers of 27-year-old grandchildren. Among his children, we will quote Farhan Kahin, Commercial Director of the National Air Djibouti. We ask our sincere condolences to the families and implore God Almighty to welcome him into his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene in Sudan, signings of an agreement between military leaders and of the protest, the ruling general in Sudan and the leaders of the protest movement signed Wednesday morning an agreement confirming the power sharings during this transition period following the dismissal of Omar al-Bashir in April. Discussions are yet to take place in the coming days. On the other hand, in dispute of an agreement reached on July 5 between the two parties. According to the dispute, the political declarations was initiated by the both sides after nights of intense discussions after meetings in luxurious hotels in Khartoum. The number 2 of the ruling military council, Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, he said, we agreed on the political declaration, one of the leaders of the protest for the constitutional document. We will resume negotiations on Friday. He said this agreement is a first step toward a civilian government demanded by the Sudanese for nearly 7 months. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.